Well, hey there, Internet. How we doing today? My name is Lacquer Gold, and today we're playing Champions of Breakfast, a game about shooting breakfast items with other breakfast items, I hear. I have never played this game before, but it looked like a lot of fun, so I thought I'd give it a shot after having a couple of breakfast mimosas myself. Come sit down and let's do this, I guess. Alright. Looks like we're up for a bullet hell. I'm not entirely sure what I've just got myself into. When I was younger, and I do mean significantly younger, I had a bit of a phase where I kind of obsessed over those anime bullet hell games. This is super nostalgic for me, right down to me being frigging terrible. It looks like we are not... Oh dear, what on? Okay, so maybe this isn't about breakfast items killing other breakfast items explicitly. It looks like we're dealing with kitchen utensils, and also we're in a bathroom. I'm pretty sure we just saw some plungers or scrubbers. Oh yeah, no, this is definitely a bathroom. Those are hairbrushes. Oh. Okay, so what we've learned today is that I'm bad at this game. All in all, it's another brick in the wall. Wall of... Oh my god, that is a dog rug, and it... Oh, is that an actual dog? CDs and remote controls. I'm getting insane, like, Undertale vibes from those laser attacks. I know it's super obnoxious when folks in the year of our Lord 2021 refer to Undertale references, but what can I say? I haven't really kept up with the times. The past 2 years feel like a complete blur to me. I'm not even sure. Oh my... 22.95% accuracy. 42 seconds. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this at all. Alright. You know, for as bad a time I'm having with this game in a, like, gameplay sort of sense, I have to say I really enjoy the concept. This is what I'd call a good, like, time sink. Clearly no story to it, but it's charming, it's cute in an odd way. It's a sort of offbeat time waster that, you know, if I were a competent game developer, I would make myself. The items themselves feel more like, you know, emojis of items rather than cartoonized versions of the thing themselves. Is that a freaking sink? Oh, are you a boss sink? Is that why you smiled at me? You're a boss sink, I think. I rhymed. Okay, will I make it past the boss sink? Nobody knows. Be nice to maybe do something a bit respectable, such as surviving over 10 seconds. Well, 42 I think was my last run. Wow, just as I say that. Just as I... Ah, jeez. I'm gonna blame it on the breakfast mimosas, actually. Okay, now we're in the yard. I thought this game would be set explicitly in a kitchen, given it's called Breakfast, or rather Champions of Breakfast. You know, I was in the food service industry, as you might have guessed by now. I've been out of a job for a while. The whole corona thing is picking up once again here in my beautiful hometown of Vancouver, BC. And I spend a lot of my time doing nothing at all related to making money. I'm in the process of moving house, actually, and I haven't really got much time for freelance projects or, you know, anything of actual import these days. Oh my actual goodness. You know, some folks would say I should just shut the hell up and focus on the gameplay. I think that playing a silly breakfast game and being terrible at it on the internet is going to be one of the little joys I will have to just claim for myself regardless of what anyone else says.
2 seconds later.
Yeah. Okay, we're back in the garden. I kind of think that this, you know, the change in scenery would be more, I guess, interesting if it didn't happen randomly with every run. Like, it'd be neat if you traveled through various parts of this supposed house as you progress through the game. Did I just get hit by a steak? Did someone just hit me with a steak? I like to think all of this is happening in the toaster's imagination. It's like the brave little toaster, but less dark and more silly. Something I wish I could be these days. Oh geez. Gee, I'm not good at this. But I do appreciate the soundtrack, like, is this chiptune music or just chiptune inspired? I don't know, but whatever it's going for, I'm on board with it. And, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. Jeez. My accuracy was actually less good this time. As I was saying, yeah, I think it would be a lot more interesting if you had to progress through the house and then the background and enemies would change. I don't know what that stake is for. Is that a healing item? How do I use it? What am I doing? I should have checked the controls, but no. I have to be a rebel and not do things the recommended way. And I'm only being, like, partly jokey right now. I mean, I can't remember the last time I did anything the recommended way. I've got stories about all the years I spent doing very poorly in general education due to my inability to just grasp multi-step instructions. It was a bad time. Are they throwing coals at me? How do I use my... Is this a health item? Can I use it? What am I doing? I just want to be good at what I'm doing. Oh my god. What is going on? Is that a rechargeable attack there on the side? I thought that was just set decor. What on earth is going on? How do I play this game? I should probably try to get closer, but that's probably going to kill me because I'm not good at this. Okay, You know what? I actually feel like I got somewhere that time. First of all, cute dog. And I'm starting to think that the flat aesthetic for the backgrounds is, you know, a very conscious stylistic choice. It gives me this paper cutout sort of vibe, especially with the very subtle shadows to make them look like cardboard. Like, I'm a nervous chatterer, and I've been kind of high-strung since the pandemic started really wearing on. And I really want to get back into the habit of sending people gifts and letters and such. Unfortunately, I'm broke as hell, so that's not always a viable option. Thanks for coming, by the way. If you're actually listening to this video, I'm extremely impressed because this is not at all a review or gameplay focused thing. As you can tell, I'm just here to talk and have a good time as if there's like an actual person on the other side of my microphone. You know, y'all are always welcome to drop like a comment about this or that. I'm not here to gain subs or to, you know, monetize my channel or whatever. I just want to make some friends, man. As I said, I'm on Twitter a lot, mostly to yell and on my professional-ish account, like, actually post my artwork. I've got a personal and a private, as a lot of people seem to these days. And I think the uptick in personal versus personal versus professional channels lately has been due, well, like a lot of things, largely to the pandemic. People are starting to scream into the void more. And I've noticed that, you know, some folks are a bit embarrassed about it. And that, to me, is freaking wild. Because I grew up in a time when people posted whatever the hell they wanted on their private social media. That was actually a pretty good one. Without any care for, you know, what other folk thought, or if they would get any followers for it or whatever. I grew up in a time of, like, MySpace and Zanga and Nexopia and stuff like that. And in those days, we just vomited whatever we felt like onto our private web spaces. A lot of folks my age at the time, a lot of my angsty teenage peers, we just vomited straight up diary entries onto the internet. And a lot of times we didn't even, like, private our accounts. And you know what? I kind of dig that. I've got some controversial opinions about this whole oversharing on the internet thing. I don't think that folks should, you know, share heavy things with reckless abandon to total strangers, but I don't think folks should have to apologize for being quote-unquote messy and emotional on their private accounts. The block and mute features exist for a reason. If you're following someone who is posting a lot of personal stuff or life updates or, you know, angsty yelling, let them do it, for God's sake. All we've got these days is social media for our human engagement because pandemic, right? And I think it's, you know, it's needlessly mean-spirited and unempathetic to bark at other folk for expressing their honest feelings on the only channel they have. It's just a time of great isolation and loneliness, and we gotta be more understanding of each other and how we all deal. There's a lot of trauma going around right now, and everyone responds in a different way. Some folks withdraw, which is, a valid way of dealing with your troubles, but some folks really need to externalize. It's oddly cathartic to just externalize your thoughts in a public space, even if no one is actually listening. And that's what this channel is for me. I miss human engagement and not being stuck in my head all the time, and this is my way of dealing. The breakfast mimosas, I guess that's part of my way of dealing too, but for the most part, I'm just kind of a yeller. I can't wait for all this to be, well, quote unquote, over, so we can all get back to talking about things other than current events and the very disheartening news. That's the downside to being on social media so freaking much. When you're constantly on places like, Twitter, I don't want to hear about which famous person said what scummy thing. It's just, it's not my style. I've got enough going on in my own personal life. I don't need to concern myself with gossip and negativity surrounding folks I don't know and never will. Celebrity culture, it bugs me. Influencer culture, it bugs me. I miss the old days of YouTube when people just, didn't put too much effort into making their videos super polished and monetizable, if that's even a word. Folks just threw whatever they made onto the internet and called it a day and hoped other folk responded well to them. I don't want to be that person, but I'm gonna say it, late stage capitalism is killing the arts. I'd love to see more content creators just content creating for its own sake. I know a lot of us can't afford to do that without gaining some sort of revenue from it, otherwise we'd never be able to do it. And I say we, not because I'm like an aspiring big name YouTuber or whatever, but I'm an illustrator, a cartoonist, a very amateur, very amateur animator, and I do want to make freelancing and the arts a regular part of my life. Okay, I don't necessarily want to quit my day job. As I've said, human engagement is important to me, and I work in a really friendly and cooperative kitchen, which gives me a sense of community and belonging. But I would, in a perfect world, maybe go part-time. I'm just a big fan of being able to integrate all important aspects of your life into one lifestyle, and if I could, I'd be doing well enough at my art financially to make a part-time day job, a feasible life option. I'm getting more comfortable with this game the more I ramble. This is the sort of experience that I've been missing, the sort of zoning out, playing a game while, speaking candidly to others. I think this video has gone on long enough, so I'm gonna cut it off in just a second, but thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, getting to know this random internet person a little bit better. Take good care of yourselves. Be well. It's really hard times out there.